All right, I figured I'd knock out a quick video here on day trading. Now, I'm already in a position, so I'm sure I'll do another one as well. But right now I'm in a position with BQX, and you'll see I do use this volume monitor. This does help for day trading because it reinforces what you see in the chart. But you'll see BQX popped up again. Now, I've been day trading BQX for the last 5-6 days or whatever, so I know the chart pretty well. So I'm just going to go over to high level what I broke a rule. And I broke my exit here, but based on everything I saw support levels at multiple levels, and I felt it was worth a little bit of more of a risk than I'm usually comfortable with, down to 6%, that it was going to bounce back and go back higher. Okay, so I could have been out of this trade in the green. Anytime you're in a trade and you get out in the green is positive. So you'll see here, this is where I entered, and then this is where I could have got out in the green. I'm looking to get out now on the next dip or the next rise, if it happens, at 2.25%. I'm in this trade a lot longer than I like to be. I should have been out right here. So I should have been out the second that it broke this second resistance here. At a minimum, waited for it to come back up to retest this top. So you'll notice on here there's these purple lines. Now what I've done previous to this is I suggest when you're first looking at a chart, start at the day, see where you're at in the overall time frame of everything. When you look at the day of this BQX, I mean, these are day candles. You'll see that it's been on a downtrend, and then it really reacted over a course of a couple days to 40% or so, right? Here, it's been on kind of a same downtrend, 40%, and it looks like it's reacting, right, to maybe retest this or to find maybe this range here, right at 37,000. We don't know, right? But you're looking at days, so you want to look at the larger trend. Look at then the 12-hour, make sure it kind of reinforces, it should, and then start going to the 1 hour, then go to the I usually start at like the 3-hour and see where the 3-hour support resistance, right? And you'll see I already drew support lines in here. There's one support line here at the 3-hour. So there's already support lines that are drawn in. If I go to the 1 hour, you'll see here, these are support lines. These are basically support or bases. And one of the things I haven't mentioned in the video before is that you'll see what's happening right now in this chart. And why I'm at the moment, I feel okay being in the position. There's a 5.8 Bitcoin order right here just below where everybody's jumping in. Strangely, it never gets filled. So you're thinking really what that's there is, once again, it's manipulation for the price action to go up. Okay, they're putting this in so people will jump ahead of them and the price action will go up. And strangely, there's a big huge buy wall here and there's a big huge sell wall here, right? So really, it's just it has no really way other than to churn between these two prices at this given time. So it's just going to churn between these two kind of different prices. Eventually, probably what will happen is either this buy wall will go away or the sell wall will go away, right? But the other thing that could happen is that as you see the order book get filled up, and a lot of times you see what is happening is that they're looking to fill the order book up, and then they'll just start taking positions out, and then this will go away, then it'll drop back down. Okay, so knowing that, watching this, right, we're on the 1 hour chart. Let's go. I trade in 3 minutes, and I've already drawn all my support resistance lines. So this is actively happening, so I've got to really pay attention. So I'll do another one where I start from the beginning. But I drew support resistance lines at 15 minutes. I did it at 10 minutes. I usually don't draw these. I can look at the chart and kind of see where they're at. But I suggest most people draw them at first. Okay. So, you'll see these multiple support levels. This is basically where the buyers and sellers had a disagreement over price and the buyers won. You want to see the buyers react strongly. That's what you're looking for. Did the buyers react strongly when it hit that? Yeah, they reacted pretty damn strong here, right? So let's go to the 5 minute once again. And the reason why you want to have different time frames is that you don't know what other investors or bots or people, whatever, whoever's trading, you don't know what time frame they're looking at. And most people get tunnel vision when they trade. So what you want to do is you want to look at all time frames, and you want to understand how anybody in the 3-minute, anybody in the 1-minute, anybody in the 10-minute is looking at the chart and where they're looking at support levels. Obviously, not obviously, but a 1 hour candle like you see here is pretty strong support typically, because it takes a long time to get there. And then when it does seem to bounce back, right? So a 1-minute time frame, the way that someone's trading 1-minute candles is a lot different. If someone's looking to scalp on a 1-minute, they're going to be looking, they're going to be looking at this resistance level right here on the 1-minute. Now, does that hold up on the 3-minute? It's right here. It does hold up on the 3-minute. Oh, it doesn't. It's this one right here. Sorry. This holds up on the 3-minute. So it does hold up on the 3-minute as well, meaning that there's another support back here. There's a little bit of support, or there's a base. I like to use the word base. There's a base here where it bounces up, and then there's a base here. So, but it has gone below that. And below that, on the 3-minute candles, there's additional bases, right? Let's see what's happening in the books. As you can see, there's 2 buy walls. This one's artificial in my mind, but it's supporting the price where it's currently at. What I mean by that is that it's there to, and I probably mentioned this multiple times, it's there to trick investors to think that this order is actually real and it's going to go through, and there's a quote unquote mini whale actually looking to acquire this. But you're going to see this bounce between both sides, right? So one of two things are going to happen here. This is going to go away, and it's going to depress the price down to probably this support level or this support level, which is the 46,303. Let's look at the chart. Wrong chart. Probably should be on the right chart. 46,303 right here, which is one of our support levels, right? So if we put a little arrow there, this is one of our support levels that's on the books right now. Now, the thing you want to do is look at that. Go look at what's on the books. I mean, you can look at the depth chart. The depth chart is deceiving. This is the thing. It's deceiving because you're not seeing the real numbers. You're not seeing the real. You can see the numbers on the side. You can see the positions. You can see stuff. It's visual, okay? You need to think in multiple dimensions when you trade. You need to think visually, and you need to think, you need to think in all dimensions, but visually and technically, okay? This is visual and kind of technical, but it's more visual. There's certain patterns in this visualization that can trick your mind. What doesn't trick your mind as much is actual numbers, is looking at the actual numbers here. 46.3, 5.6, right, is the actual Bitcoin value there, 12,000 shares. But the next support level is at 45.6. Well, that looks kind of maybe real. Like this, it's a hit and miss whether or not this 5.6 is actually real. And I say that because this is relative to the chart, okay? It's still my belief that I've yet to see one of these major orders really hit and actually be bought up. They're usually used for to telegraph support levels, to either other traders or just to telegraph support levels for people that are looking to trade this chart. Okay, so you'll see here we're bouncing back and forth. We're just playing around in this little range here, right? Just because basically there's 2 big buy walls going up. So this is going to sound kind of dumb. Well, actually it's not, because I think that buy wall went, no, it's still there. So one of 2 things are going to happen. There's a little bit of price movement that can happen now on the buy side if you look at this, right? So you probably would see this actually rise up now. You'll probably see this rise up just because all it takes is a couple people at market orders to jump ahead, or on a limit order to jump ahead this, this order right here, to then move the price in this direction, because there's not much of what's on the books. Now there's could be market actions. This is why you want to watch this. You'll see here there's 1100 order right here that went through at 8300. There's another one here, and not another one, but you're just looking for kind of the trends of the orders. You know, this might get eaten up for a little bit. One of the things, sometimes I let this eat up. Sometimes I do see it go through. So now you'll see someone jumped ahead at 1.2. So that I would consider a real order, 2400. So what you're going to be watching for here is, how does that get eaten up? How does that buy order? How did the sellers react to that? The spread on price is only 0.19, right? So this is what I'm looking at. I'm trying to explain what I'm looking at in my mind, right? That's at a macro, or is it micro? Micro. I should figure that out. That's at a real small level, micro level. At a higher level, I'm not actively typically watching it as much as I am like right now. Like I'm not actively. I can gauge this stuff just by looking and seeing kind of what's happening, checking the depth chart, the only reason why I check the depth chart is to try to get a good idea of what are the support levels. So then when I go back here, I can kind of recorrelate that here, you know, to the books. And then I can go back here and I can recorrelate that to the books. Keep in mind, this is only half the picture. I mean, it's probably not even half the picture, but it gives you a good idea of kind of where the potential of things can go. So if we go back to this, this is going to sound trite. One of two things are going to happen. It's going to either break out from here, or it's going to retest the support level here and either break through that support level, right? So the MACD, you could say people that use it, look at this. Now, sometimes I do, in cases, I might put Bollinger Bands on, right? Just because I know other people use it, and I not the best at, I understand the concept of it. I understand. So it's good to have kind of these other signals, even though I don't necessarily subscribe to some of them. But it's good to know, because you can kind of predict other actions of other traders, right? My philosophy is that, look, if there was this thing that worked, everybody would use it. It's like Fibonacci. If Fibonacci really worked, which I could draw it 7 different ways and it works. But if it really did work, then everybody would learn Fibonacci, and then suddenly everybody would be able to trade everything successfully, right? You'd be able to program a Fibonacci bot, and then it would just Fibonacci trade for you, right? So you'll see here, we're just moving back and forth. Now, this is also where volume is just, I mean, here it's 1224. Volume's kind of slowed down. You know, this is trying to be as helpful as possible. You look at the time frame here, it's about to be morning in Tel Aviv. Not morning. It's about to end the evening in Tel Aviv, Moscow, Rome. It's, you know, middle morning Seattle. This is obviously my time. And then it's early morning over in Asia, right? You know, the other thing you're looking at is what's Bitcoin doing. Bitcoin has risen 1% or no 2%. It's up at the 10,000 level now. So you're just watching all this, right? You're just kind of seeing. So I'd still be in this trade, right? And I am still in this trade. And I'd just be watching for what's going to happen. Like what I anticipate. So you'll see here, this other order here, this other, what you can consider support is there. Now this is where you would want to, this is where it can change real quick. So basically what you would see usually like this is that you'll see there's 2 big orders here. Right here, there's a 5-5 and then there's a 7-5, okay? And there's 2 walls. So anybody that's looking at this and is wanting to get in this is going to see that and say, wow, there's support here. There's support at 2 levels. They're going to either try to jump the line here, or they're going to try to get in and you'll see that one went away. So one of them down below went away. So this is why I can't stress this enough. You have to look at the chart, and you have to look at, and I'm reading a couple books, and it really it reinforced my kind of own thinking on this. But the chart is the chart. The price is the price. Who are you to say that it's not worth this? The market is the market. This chart tells me, okay, that when it hits this price at this time frame in everything kind of the way it is right now in the world, right? No comet is about to hit the earth, right? The way it is right now in the world, buyers feel that it's worth more, okay? Buyers feel that it's worth more here in this 3-minute time frame over the course of 1 hour 54 minutes, right? 1 hour 39 minutes. The last 1 hour and 39 minutes, the buyers and sellers of this particular asset are the buyers that have bought here do not feel that it's going to go down anymore. They feel it's going to go up because they have not sold. The sellers are taking their profits, and they don't feel that there's a strong upside right now. Okay, so everything else that I've set aside, objectively, if you were to look at this, the way that you really should look at this is that this is the data you have to go on. Okay, this is what you have to go on. Now, the other thing is I wouldn't be sitting here on this trade right now like watching it. So what I would do, just so you know, I already have my sell order in. So my sell order is already in. My position's already placed. And then if something starts happening, I put an alert like this, because I want to know if it's going to drop like there. Because then I have to look at my entry, right, or my exit. And then here, one thing I haven't mentioned is that it makes it a lot easier for me sometimes. Is that if we go to the day chart, is if I acquired down here like I did, like I acquired way down here a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but whatever. I acquired down here, right? So, and I've got a decent position. And so my day trade it makes maybe 15% of that position, maybe, not even that, maybe 9 to 10% of that position, right? So what I can do that most people can't do, and this is just to be clear, because I already have a position in that, I can put a sell order. Let's say that I bought, I don't know, let's say I bought 6,000 of this, right? I can put a sell order for 6,000 here, and I can put a sell order for 6,000 here, and I can put a sell order for 6,000 here, right? Because I already own shares in it. So I can put in a stop loss that you really can't put in if you just have one order, right? If you just have 6,000, you can't place that 6,000 in two different places, right? So that's the other thing that I can do on some of these. So that's another thing that you can do that is smart. If you can acquire early or acquire a hold percentage that you're going to hold, and then day trade a portion of that, it allows you to like set and forget these things so you don't have to think about it, right? So let me be clear so that's clear. If you own 10,000 shares or something, you're trading 3,000, okay? You have 10,000 shares, and you buy 3,000 more, okay? So let's say that you own 10,000 and you buy 3,000 more. You now have 13,000. Well, you can put an order on the books for 3,000 here and 3,000 here, and that's 6,000. And it doesn't matter which way it goes, right? You have to put alerts here like I did so that you can remove one whatever direction it goes, right? But it doesn't matter which way it goes. One of them's going to get picked up. Now, you hope it's the upside, right? If it's the downside, that sucks. You were wrong, right? But that gives you kind of the flexibility where you can kind of set in, not forget, but set and go back to the trade. Where if you're day traded and you only have 3,000 shares, you can only put a buy order here. You can't put a sell order down here, right? So you can't protect your downside. So that's something to keep in mind. Hopefully that's clear. I'll do more of these. So let's look at this. You'll see that support wall went off the books. So what do you think is going to happen here? What do we think? I think it's probably going to dip because there's no support anymore. So then the buyers now can the sellers, as the buyers no longer have confidence. They don't feel like there's like the way I like to think about it sometimes too is that there's support. There's a support of someone strong behind them. Now that could change too. The buyers might look at this and say, look, there's an opportunity here to buy. But you'll see that even on the visualization, we are dipping. So I guess, on the 1 minute candles, we're dipping. So basically the sellers are regaining control because the confidence of that buy wall is no longer here. So this is what I'd be looking for. We're starting to get some movement. I don't know why I keep going to Venn. I would be looking for it to retest this support. And my expectation is that it's either going to, of course, it can only go up or down, but it's going to either bounce back from this support or it's going to go beyond that. And that's where I'm going to just get out of the trade because I should have got out here. Once again, I should have got out up here, but for some reason I didn't get out. I should have got out right here because it touched there twice and I was in the green. So I should have really just got out there and moved on and just traded something else because there's not a lot of activity on this, right? And if it does break this here, I will get out. So the only way I won't get out right now is that if it does this, we scroll in. I want to see something like this. See this candle here? Actually, I don't want to see something like this. I want to see something like this candle, green. I want to see a green candle like this. And we're on 5-minute bars. Let's do 3-minute bars. I want to see a reaction from this support level. I want to see what I want to see is something like this right here. This candle here. If we get something like this candle here, where it hit support and it shot up, and then there's an argument of price right here, and then it turned green, then I feel okay about that it's got a positive direction. If it hits this support level and it just kind of plays around here, I want to get out of the trade. So that's the key. The big support level, if it's still on the books, is right here. I'm hoping this helps because I know that, I didn't enter the trade. I'll do one where I enter the trade and then I go through and I go through the same stuff that you're kind of seeing here anyways. But you'll see here, there is if we look at the books, there's probably a more technical term than the books here, but it's what I use. There's just not a lot of activity. It's just not, it's slowed down. You see even volumes going down and it's going negative. Now, what usually happens with this is that these, it'll pop back up on the volume monitor here. And people will get re-excited, right? So, well, TRX might actually go up. So, that might actually be a good thing. So I still got a couple bags on TRX that I'm going to hold, long-term hold on TRX, but I bought at a really bad price. So, I don't have anything more to say. That's the problem. I'll do another trade, but I wanted to get one out today, just kind of show you. One of the things I will add is don't break your own rules. I broke my own rules here, and I would have been obviously satisfied with the position getting out here, right? And I would have been based on, remember, I wasn't watching this the whole time, but this is 2 hours, 18 minutes of being in a trade that was losing. And the only reason why I was still in the trade is because when it hit this support level and these support levels, it was bouncing above it, and it had an upside. And part of this is I was in the video, I was just doing the video right here, so I probably should have just took a second and got out. But